Hi, a new version of Ecamm Live came out very recently. We've now got version 3.10 and watch this video because I'll be taking you through all of the new features that are of interest to you. If you're a new user, new to Ecamm, then please check this out. There's plenty of other videos and features over and above the ones that I'm going to show you today. If you're a seasoned Ecamm user, you might want to watch and bring some of these features into your live streams and broadcast productions. So let's get on with it. The first highlight is that we now have a virtual mic. The virtual mic essentially brings your audio, whether it's movie audio, system audio, into the applications that you're using, such as Zoom, Google Meet, GoToMeeting, Skype, Loom, and several other applications that take virtual mic input. Previously, it was only your microphone that was being microphone sound that was being broadcast into those applications. Now, everything that you can produce in Ecamm Live will go through. So you just need to turn on the virtual mic application. The second thing is Mac OS shortcuts. If you're new to shortcuts, you can get the Mac to automatically perform a series of tasks. There's now a new Ecamm Live preferences option right at the far end of the Ecamm Live preferences that allows you to then link shortcuts to your production. So for instance, you can get it to turn on lights, turn off other applications, those kind of things. So something to have a look at. Two things: one, the shortcuts option in Ecamm Live, and secondly, shortcuts from the Mac. Then we have the fly-in options for the overlays. So now we can get overlays to fly in from the bottom, from the top, and these overlays can be movie overlays, animated graphics, or even timers. So any side you can get them to come in from. Audio. So now we can have overlapping audio sounds. Previously you were only able to play one sound and it would then be replaced by the audio from whichever you replaced it with. But now we can get a second sound to play over the top of the sound that you're already hearing. Now we've got new alignment guides for any of the graphics that you bring into Ecamm, so it's a lot easier to get them either centered or lined up with one another. So I'll just do a quick job on this. I'm going to copy by holding down the Alt key and literally just drag this icon here so you can see that it's moving, and it's moving exactly lined up to the previous version of itself. So there's an automatic snap to link to that icon, and that would be up or down. So those two are now automatically lined up together. Alignment guides come up on the screen whenever you're using Ecamm. So the hotkey for showing and hiding overlays is really powerful. So here I have on the far right hand side of the screen a area that I'm just showing you see my cursor is in this current scene area. So the eye that we see on the screen just in the middle is turned on and off using this icon here. If I click it, you'll see the eye goes off, but next to it you might just be able to make out that I've assigned a hotkey setting to that, which happens to be Alt Command I. So I'll do that on the keyboard now, and that turns the eye icon on and off. You can assign function keys to these things as well now, so that's one of the additional new features, or easily assign any hotkey to a overlay graphic. This also helps you if you're using something like a Stream Deck, but also even something like Numpad. It allows you to then assign a keyboard shortcut to an overlay, which you can then assign to another key in the Numpad application. Highly recommended. A really great feature. One of the other things is that we can now have movies resuming from a previous position. So in the past, if you were playing a movie and then moved on to another scene, that movie would carry on playing. So if you watch where this movie gets to, you can see I've actually got the start from the last location selection selected in this screen. So I'm going to stop it just as the boat gets to the sunlight. I'm now moved away from that scene, so I'm on another scene altogether. I'll now return to that scene and we'll see that the boat is still about to approach the sunlight. So here we go. And you can see it's just gone from the last location. So this is what we call going from the last location. You could start it from the beginning every time you go to that scene. But if I just do that one more time, just to show you. So we've got to start from the last location selected, move on to another scene, give it a second or two, go back, and we can see that we're moving on. Okay. So we've now got automatic scene groups as well. So let me just quickly show you those. Now we'll go to automatic scene groups. Automatic scene groups allow you to group scenes in a folder, which will then automatically switch to the next scene after a selected period of time. Here my example shows that we've got a 2-second selection. So let's move on to that scene group and show you how that works. So now I've got auto scene 1 selected, and you see in the top it says scene 1 in yellow. If I move down to the next scene, we've got scene 2 and scene 3. But let's now move on and play that so that you can see it automatically selecting. So I'll just hit the play button here. And now it's automatically moving from one scene to the next every 2 seconds. So we've got scene 1, automatically switching to scene 2, automatically switching to scene 3, all after that set period of time. Okay, let's move on. Ongoing sounds. What is that about? Well, we've got the ability now to play a sound in one scene, and then when you move to the next, that sound carries on playing. Let's just show you. So I've now moved on to the next scene and the sound is still playing. You can see the overlays here. I've got a tick button that says stop when scene ends. If you didn't have that, then the sound would carry on playing. But now that I've got that on this scene, it means that when I move on to the next scene, the sound will stop playing. The other thing that's shown here, if you have a look, is the timer counting down to the end of the track. And that's now shown in the sound effects window. So there's 3 things here. You can stop this music when the scene ends, or keep it playing, and you can also see how long the track has got before it either loops or stops playing altogether. And now that I move on to the next scene, we should hear that the sound stops. And finally, the other thing is that audio now will automatically fade out. So it's not just an abrupt end, it's a nice faded ending. So there's the faded ending. We've moved on to the next scene. We can also, within a group of sound effects, you can create a group and then use the arrows, which are highlighted in red here, to either go back or forward to one of the other tracks. I've only got 2 tracks in this group, but you can imagine that you'd be able to fast forward through several tracks if you wanted to, just by clicking those buttons there. We've got Twitch badges now for any commenters through the Twitch application. We can now connect to OneStream Live. That option is available in your Ecamm window. You connect to it by going to the bottom right hand side of the main window, where it often would say just record only, or you select whether you want to go to YouTube or Facebook, and OneStream Live now will show up. If you select that, you're then invited to connect, and what happens is you get a drop down where you will put your email and your password and then sign in. So that's a new streaming functionality where you can stream to multiple locations. Okay, we've got the sub-edit move size overlays. So what we can do here is we're able now to adjust overlays that are covered up, which was previously unavailable. So let me show you what I mean by this. If I go to the window here, you can see I've got overlay 3 and it's showing up here right now. If I just closed it up, it says overlay 2 is below it, because we can now see that I've turned this overlay off. If I have locked this overlay, then overlay 3 will not move. But overlay 2, you see, is actually unlocked. So if I now go to the scene and try to move the overlay 2, you'll see that I can actually move it. So here it comes. I've actually been able to move that overlay from below the locked overlay above. I'll move it back again now. Okay, we can also do that if I unlock overlay number 1, which is now below 2 locked overlays. I'll drag overlay number 1 into the scene, and here we are. So above that we had 2 locked overlays. So manipulating overlays below locked overlays is now a possibility, and that's whether you can see them or not. So that more or less accounts for everything that's in version 3.10. I, for one, am really looking forward to version 4. And anyway, hope you've enjoyed those little covers of some of the new features. If you're interested in Ecamm Live and you haven't already got it, follow the affiliate link below in the description. And I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Thanks for watching.